So we just learned about tension and energy and how fundamentally important they are in structure and arrangement. What I'm going to do now is share with you a simple trick that I use in almost every production, and it's called an energy map. And an energy map is pretty self-explanatory. It's a map or a visual representation of the energy in your song, except you tend to do it before you actually structure your song. So it's something you do in advance. Now, for some people, this will feel unnatural and it may not work at all. So I'm not saying that you have to do it or you should do it, but you might have an intuitive understanding, of how much energy each section should have, especially if you're more experienced. And therefore, using something like this will be a little less helpful or even illogical. But for those of you who struggle with flow and with energy levels, or even have trouble finishing tracks, then this might help. So let's say we're starting a new track. What I'm going to do before that is create a very long MIDI clip. So we'll drag something out, let's say to 6 minutes. There we go. Around there. I'll change the tempo. I've got to rename this to map. And I'll color it. Let's color it orange. And then color this. So we've got this long MIDI clip. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is lay out a basic template of how I think the energy should flow in the song, the track. So it's often a good idea to create this energy map after you've put together your loop or composed a few bits and pieces. Otherwise, you run yourself the risk of creating identical energy maps every project and just sort of stemming your creativity. So it's a good idea to come up with a loop or something first. I'm not going to do that here because it's very time consuming, but you get the idea. So I'm going to use a rough structure that I've got in my head at the moment. So just bear with me while I do that. And what I'm actually going to use is a utility plugin. This track is going to be muted, it's not having anything on it. But I use a utility plugin and automate the gain for the visual aspect of the whole thing. So we're going to start off with an intro, will be quite low energy. The second 8 bars, I want a little bit more energy. At bar 17, I want even a little bit more. Let's bring these down a bit. And you don't want it to sort of build up quite high and then come down again to relatively, mid-level energy. Then I want it to slowly build up and build up a bit more. We want to have our lowest point of energy here, and this is where the breakdown will start. And this will basically just build up gradually. And then have the main idea coming in here, which will slowly decrease in energy before building up into a chorus. But the first 16 bars isn't going to be the peak energy. We're actually going to build up to another 16 bars, which will be the highest point of energy in the track. And then it will come down a little less, and then a little bit less. So as you can see, I've put together a basic map of how my energy levels will work in the track. And you can clearly see where the breakdown is going to be, as well as where the drop or chorus is going to be. And at this point, I could even go further and have this double as a structure template. So I could split these all up like so. And then title them. So intro, verse, bridge, just like we did with the structure type videos. Build, chorus, verse, and outro. And obviously color those to keep things consistent. So you get the idea. This can double as a structure map as well if you want to do that. I normally, personally, just use markers for this kind of thing. So inserting a marker and saying, chorus instead, and that sort of is substantial because it doubles as a play point. But if you want to do it this way, you can. Again, it's just another thing you can do. And if you've got a loop together and you've created an energy map like this, the structuring process will come a lot easier to you. So it's worth trying out a few times and just refining the process so that it suits you. But yes, a simple idea that you can use, may work, may not. Give it a go.